There will be plenty there. You will not have, I know now these talk show hosts and all these prognosticators and some very close friends of mine have made some forecasts lately that we're going to have a food shortage in the next year's time. Well, now I thought that also, up until I talked with this gentleman. And he said very emphatically that there's going to be another problem. Not a food problem, not a water problem. It is going to be totally different than anything you're expecting. You see, the elite have a way of doing things completely differently than the average individual thinks in their mind. And many people, all of us, I guess, are exposed to the national media, so naturally they control our thinking to a certain extent. Well, you've got to change your mindset if you're going to understand what's going to happen, because the elite already have determined what's going to take place, and it will happen just as they say. And this individual let me know in no uncertain... Folks, please don't listen to the media. I beg of you, turn off that television set. Quit thinking about what you hear on the newscast over the radio. You've got to quit thinking in those terms and understand the mindset of the elite in order to understand what they're saying. The following statement is going to startle you. I'm warning you. Here it is. There will not be a shortage of food or water, but. Now, you heard the but. I hope you're getting this very carefully. But you're going to go hungry. Now, try to understand this. There will be no shortage of food and water whatsoever. Grocery store shelves full. They had a bumper crop of wheat in Montana last year. The granaries are full. There'll be plenty of bread, but you're going to go hungry. I know, but you've got to think like the elite now. Why? The elite always have a way of doing things the opposite of what the average person thinks. And even though there'll be plenty of food and plenty of water there, you're going to go hungry because you won't have the money to buy it. No, I know this really causes a person to think 2 or 3 times. So let me tell you exactly what's going to happen to you for the next 12 months. I told you you'd be startled. I told you this was going to be different. And just wait a while, and you'll see it happen exactly like they say it. The only way that you are going to be able to maintain your dinner table and your household is to begin some preparation right now. And here it is. You will lose. Now, this was a statement of this elitist. He said you will lose 30 to 50% of the value of your money in the next 12 months.
The dollar.
The dollar. Purchasing power. You'll lose 30 to 50% of your purchasing power in the next 12 months. Plenty of food, plenty of water, no shortages, and you won't be able to buy it.
That means that everything that we buy abroad is going to cost us from 30 to 50% more, which means everybody that is earning some kind of income is going to take a 30 to 50% cut in their income this year. In other words, like, for example, if they're buying a car, it's going to cost 30 to 50% more. Buying gasoline, going to cost 30 to 50% more. Gasoline, let's say, for example, you're paying $3 a gallon for gasoline now. If the dollar goes down 50%, you're looking at $4.50 a gallon. That's, every day, that's going to really throw just about everybody in a severe financial crunch. As a matter of fact, you're saying that he's also saying get out of paper. And I'll let you talk more about that. But then the only thing for us to do is to put our money in gold. Now, let's say, for example, someone is thinking about buying a house. If they buy it now, then they're going to buy it with less inflated dollars than later. It might be better if they were to put their money in gold say if they're going to buy a house, or say even maybe a car would be a better example, buy a car, put their money in gold, and then 12, 18 months down the road, when the dollar is worth less, that value has gone up with what they put in gold, they could turn around and buy the car for substantially less and get a 30 to 50% discount on it. So the place to put their money is in gold. I would say, matter of fact, here's what I tell people. I tell people at a bare minimum, you should have a handful of gold and a handful of silver. Now, meaning a handful of gold will buy you a car, and a handful of silver will feed you for a month or so. You don't want to have to go up and say, well, I need a tank of gas, here's a gold coin. That costs $1,500, and that's probably going to be the price here very shortly. So you don't want to have to try to exchange that. Instead, you want to pull out a piece of silver that is probably $1 silver dollar will buy you a tank of gas at that point, maybe two. So just be prepared. Think through some things.
Your Federal Reserve note will 12 months from now buy exactly 1/2 of what it buys today. Your retirement funds, your
401k,
your Social Security check, your
passbook savings,
your food stamps, will buy 1/2 12 months from now what they do today. He said you will devalue a minimum devaluation of 30%, a maximum devaluation of 50%. See, they don't want to do it all at once. It's going to take approximately a 2-year period to bring the dollar to the point that it's dead. Oh, it is going to happen. He told me that about 6 months ago. He said the dollar will be dead within 2 years. Now, he's saying now, over the next 12 months, you will have a 30 to 50% devaluation. Let me give you a good example.
Let me ask you, in the last DVDs, you said that there was not going to be any falling off of the cliff. It's going to be a gradual, slow descent. Is that still their plan?
Yes. There won't be an immediate collapse. There's going to be a gradual descent in the value of the American dollar. What they did to crude oil back, about a year and a half ago, when they took it from $147 to $50 a barrel. This is a portion of the program that they have in order to bankrupt the oil-producing countries of the world. And I was told 2 years ago what they would do. This was being done by the elite. It's quite interesting. He told me why they were doing it.
That's my next question. Yes, good. Okay, go ahead.
He said that they were doing this for the purpose of bankrupting the oil-producing countries of OPEC. And it was quite interesting that just a short period after that, after I made the last DVDs back about 6 months ago, I was on a certain radio talk show. And it so happened that there was an individual that was, every day, he gave the market report on this talk show. A very popular radio talk show host, I won't mention, but this individual gave the market report on his program. He happened to be listening in over the air while I was talking about what these elitists had just told me and why they were taking the price of crude oil from $147 to $50. And I said, they're doing it for the purpose of bankrupting the OPEC oil-producing countries of the world. He just laughed right over the air. He said, oh, come on, Chaplain. He said, the Middle East is too rich. He said, there's no way that you could possibly bankrupt those people. And I've learned after my many years of living.
If they say they're going to bankrupt somebody, they're going to bankrupt them.
Well, there are times to be quiet. And I didn't refute him over the air. I just went on about my business. And I thought, well, he'll see it happen. Well, it did. The price of crude oil came down. Then, of course, came along Dubai. And I'm sure you understand what condition Dubai is in, where they built that most beautiful city ever been built on the face of the earth, probably, apart from Babylon itself, and the tallest building in the world. And we're going to play a clip right now that someone put out entitled Lindsey Williams is Right. They actually went to do, I didn't know they were doing